Welcome,
Oh, you are.
everybody. I am so excited that you guys are here. I've got Travis Cole, one of my favorite human beings on this planet, joining us today. He is the leading expert, in my opinion, on what we're talking about today, which is how to make money from AI. What is ranking in AI looking like? And so, very excited to go through this. There's a lot of knowledge. I'm going to give it about a minute. But while we give it about a minute for it to start, Travis, share with everybody where you're at, because it looks like you're on the beach in the Philippines.
That's exactly where I'm at. I
Really?
guess Rotate Digital didn't really care about my office schedule, but yeah, I'm really excited to be here on the webinar. This is something that I think is very, very important. For many of us, it might be a little bit important, and maybe today we're going to take step a little bit closer to the very important stage in our fear of AI. Just kidding. It's going to be great. Does everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, I think it's hard to
So
hear. I think you're mumbling. You got to talk like really
I
loud.
gotta talk really loud, yeah, because I'm really far in the Philippines, so it's really
Yeah.
start
Or
yelling, or
or you need
choose a different
to
microphone.
choose a different microphone. Yeah, kind of
Like
muffled.
Amazon.
Can you try testing your
Yeah,
audio
yeah, yeah.
on your
Let me try
computer?
that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Try this. How about that? Is that better for everybody? Let me know.
Oh my gosh, it's so much better.
So much better. You know, way better. Long story short, last time I did one of these with Travis Weathers, he told me that I was a noob. He actually called me a noob because I was doing it using the computer audio. So he said, at least use AirPods. So I was using the AirPods. There you go.
Mm,
But it
those look like
wasn't.
version one AirPods. Version one AirPods are worthless. You can't do that. All right, let's get started. We've got a lot of people in attendance, which is phenomenal. Very exciting. Glad you all are here. What I am excited to do is start this webinar. So we're going to kick it off. A few notes. Chat along. Be engaged. That makes this way better, way more fun on the other side for us. So be engaged, have fun, make jokes, ask questions. There's a Q&A section here on the webinar where you can put in your questions, and there's going to be a lot of questions. Our goal is to answer them. So put the Q&As questions into the Q&A section. If you put it into the chat, there's a chance we miss it. So that's on you. All right, let's get going because I'm getting spicy and I'm ready to rock and roll. We are going to go through. Here we go. Can you guys see my screen okay? I need where's the chat? I'm missing my chat. Yep. Okay. I see. Yes. All right. SEO for AI. So how to rank on ChatGPT or any other AI platforms. That's what we're going through today. Because AI is coming up and there is a lot of stuff happening and it feels like every new week there's something new with AI. And so we want, as local service business owners, we want to know, hey, how do we know what's happening? And number two, how do we leverage that for our success? That's ultimately what we're here for. So we're going to learn a little bit about AI, ChatGPT, what happens with that. But ultimately, our job is to leverage it. And leveraging it may be leaving it for now, and it may be leaning in. And the information that we get today is how we can make that decision. So if you don't know who we are Rotate Digital. We've been a marketing company for 6 years. We are a company that leverages digital marketing to generate you more revenue. That is our number one goal. Sure, we do SEO, we build websites, we do PPC, but our job is to help you leverage digital marketing to generate you more revenue, a revenue generating machine. We focus so much on it. I believe this is why we became one of the fastest growing digital agencies in the USA. We are one of the fastest growing ones because we're focused so much on your success. We're focused on the real results. We don't live in the fog. We don't live in the fugazi and the fugazi. We go after real, tangible, hard results. And we've helped over 300 local service businesses leverage their website, leverage digital marketing to make more money from Google. So that's who we are, a little bit about us. What we really want to know now is a little bit about Travis. But before we get there, we're going to go through the three hopes for today. Here are the three hopes. I hope today that you learn how AI platforms rank local service businesses. It is very different than content. It's very different than online shopping. Local service businesses have a different experience. And so you want to learn how do AI platforms rank your business? How do you make some money from it? Discover some proven SEO strategies that drive results on AI. How do you know what's going to work? I want you to get that information. And then I want you to get a clear roadmap on how to boost some leads and visibility. How do you leverage SEO? How do you leverage AI to make some more money? So that's our hopes for today. A little bit about Travis Cole. Do you want to share, Travis Cole, who you are?
Yeah, sure. I'll go through it. Everybody still hears me good? Yes?
Yes, we hear you great.
Awesome. Great. So, yes, I'm a husband and I am a father of 3 kids, which I love to death. They're all under 5 years old, which is bananas. I am born in the US, but I do live in Poland. So, I really do love that. I do not plan on coming back. If that was the next question that you were going to ask, the only person to survive at Rotate Digital this long with Travis Weathers.
Move on.
Your honor. Love working, and I do love working with service-based businesses. So this is something that I've had many different roles at Rotate Digital, but the entire time I've been focused on trying to help service-based business owners, whether that's in the realm of marketing or actually in their own business or operations is kind of my jam right now. And I love to find ways to get the tools that business owners need in order to scale and leverage the most for their business. I really love that. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. All right. Well, let's get on. This is hopefully you guys hear soon. AI, money, arrow going this way. The agenda, we're going to learn how to rank on AI platforms. We're going to understand the dominance of Google and rise of AI tools. We're going to optimize content, learn how to optimize content for AI with structure and trust. Number 4, strategies to increase visibility and generate leads. And number 5, we're going to get some information on how to take action. We are going to try to blitz through this so that we don't waste your time, so you get everything you need and you end with the action item. So why this isn't theory. Go ahead.
Leave time for questions.
Yeah, and leave time for questions. Write those questions down. So this isn't theory. We want to kind of make that very clear. This isn't just some like high in the sky pie. Like this is how you could rank. We've already done it. We've already been getting our clients leads on AI, which is really exciting. We'll show you some details on that. So this is not trend chasing. This is not just data. You're going to learn some cool stuff to put in your pocket, but this is real data, real results, and a roadmap on what is actually working right now and what we need to be looking forward to in the future. And we've helped many businesses grow through Google SEO. So setting the stage, where are people searching today? Well, if you were to say this 5 years ago, it'd be Google. That would be really the only answer, is Google. And Google is still dominant for direct service searches. And 87% of the US market share is still looking on Google for a direct local service. Plumber near me, roofing company near me, moving business near me. That is still happening on Google. 46 of the searches on Google, all of those Google searches have some kind of local intent. They're trying to find something locally. But the AI tools are trending. ChatGPT is trending, Perplexity, Gemini, all these AI tools are starting to capture a portion of the searches in the market share. And so as business owners, we've got to be smart and we've got to leverage that ability. And so that's what we want to do today. There's a Moz study. Moz is like some SEO online marketing, basically place, let's call it, online. 71% of clicks still go to the organic rankings on Google. Google handles 20 times more local searches than ChatGPT. So I want to put this out here to say this is the stage we're in. The stage we're in is we're not sitting here going, oh my gosh, AI is coming. This is crazy. We've got to change or else you're going to lose all your money. The stage is Google's still dominant. Google's still the number one. That's how we're going to make our leverage. But things are changing and we've got to be ahead of the game. ChatGPT, 19% of its use is local queries, and less than 10% result in action. On top of that, that is just a small portion. So it's the portion of the portion of the portion is looking at ChatGPT for local businesses to go higher. All right, next. I got to click this button 100 times. This is a screenshot. This is one of our clients. This is like the last month, 30 days here. You can see phone calls and web forms and look at right here on the UTM source, this big box here. I don't know if I can, if I need to annotate it right here, but right here, this is ChatGPT. These are all leads. They're not traffic. These are leads that are coming in through ChatGPT. Somebody searched some type of query on ChatGPT. This client came up and ChatGPT grabbed the URLs of the Google business profile. So this is real. You can get real results from ChatGPT today. And so that's a little bit about what is coming. So why this matters to you. And then Travis, you can take over here shortly. Why this matters to you. I think we've kind of hit this on the head already, but AI is now part of the customer journey. Not for everybody, not for every search, but it's part of the customer journey. There's a part of of the searches and the searchers who are going to AI to find out information. Now, here's what it matters to you. AI prefers structured, trust-based content. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, on a high level, we're going to dive into that. But what does AI mean? It means that it needs some kind of foundational structure online to grab information from. Do we know what that is? It is your website. It is your local profiles, Yelp, Google Maps, BBB. This is all structured, trust-based content that AI is grabbing from. And so a lot of what you're going to hear today is very going to be focused on local foundational SEO work. But AI is ramping up faster than ever before. Travis Cole, I think you had a stat about how fast ChatGPT and AI kind of came to the surface. What was that?
Yep. Yeah. So I got a couple things that I wanted to shout out to everybody. One, if this is a topic that's super interesting to you, I would highly recommend you guys going to look into a report that Mary Meeker, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. Mary Meeker, she dropped a report. Does anybody know who Mary Meeker is actually?
No.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so. So Mary Meeker was working in security. She was working in venture. She's actually a venture capitalist. Anyway, she actually, from 1995 to 2019, she was writing a lot of reports and she was kind of projecting and predicting the technology trends. Since 2019, nobody's heard a peep until this last month after AI mode was released. Then she released a report, 340-page essay about the rise of ChatGPT. Highly recommend it. If you're not going to sit down and read 340 pages, I'm with you. I actually have a summarized version of that, and I can definitely share that with you. If you guys are interested in that, you can drop a 1 in the chat. If we see enough ones, then I'll go ahead and make that shareable and readable for everybody here. But it was really, really good. Here's a couple stats for you guys. ChatGPT achieved 365 billion annual searches in just 2 years. Any guesses how long it took for Google to get to that point? How many years did it take for Google to get to 365 billion annual searches? How many years did it take Google? Danae coming in with 10 years. Kim, 10 years. Lance coming in with 2, 7. We got a lot of great examples. Yes.
Yanis, 1.
11 is the answer. It took 11 years for Google to get to an repeated annual 365 billion searches, and ChatGPT did it in 2. So all the things that Travis has said, Google is still the central, Google is still the internet. They still have a lot of domination. Totally true. But there are other things that are coming. And it's not just ChatGPT, it's other AIs. And so, yeah, you can go right ahead into this one. Anybody know who this one is? Go ahead and drop a comment in here. I like to keep this a little bit engaged. Obviously, you can tell by the attire that I brought today. Anybody know who this is? Google CEO, SEO, CEO, man. Enel, Sam. Einel. Yep, Einel. Perfect. It is the CEO. It's the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, and he has been recently quoted. He's also put in a lot of good content over the last month since the I/O conference, and he is quoted saying, AI is probably the most impactful innovation since electricity.
Yeah, that's amazing. Go for it.
So this is definitely something that we feel good about where we're at right now. It's not 2012 where the world's coming to an end, but we are on the cusp of a lot of change, and we want to be aggressive, but we also want to leverage what we have right now, but we want to be thoughtful about what's coming and where the world's going and where search is going as well. So SEO for AI, here we go. We got a couple items here. We want to make sure, before I even get into all this, I'm going to say this probably multiple times. The most important thing for you as a business owner and for your brand to be visible, whether it's Google and ChatGPT, Perplexity, AI mode, whatever the case may be, your brand needs to have a clear message of who you are, what services do you offer, and where do you offer it. And that needs to be consistent in all places that you can possibly get that information out to. We're going to go through a couple of those important places later on in the slide deck, but that's like the fundamental part of making sure that these different LLMs or even AI mode or just different search engines, even like Bing, like they're all operating under the same ideas. They're trying to provide the best experience possible for their user. The best way to do that is to make sure that you are giving a clear message of who you are, what you do, what services do you offer, and where do you do it. Okay, so I'm going to come back to that a couple times. I'll mention it a couple times and say, this is, again, it's coming back to this. But here's a couple other winners that we want to kind of talk about today. Clear, direct answers. So where we are going with the AI chatbots is we are steering away from keyword searches. They are still, again, it's not abandoning that, but we are starting to move away from that. We have people that are searching, instead of looking for a roofer in Las Vegas, they might be typing into a chatbot, what's the cheapest way to reinstall my roofing, or to renew, or to refurbish my roofing on my house? So they're going to type in those kind of queries instead of typing in roofer Las Vegas or roofer Seattle, or the case may be. So you need to provide those answers to those questions that people are asking, and that's kind of going to steal from the next point as well. You want to make sure you answer these questions, and not just the one too. You also want to answer the ones that are kind of similar to it, right? So it's not just we call it a fan out query. It's not just the one question that you want to address. You want to address maybe the 5-6 questions that are kind of similar to it, or that are maybe the next step in that process. If somebody's thinking about moving from one city to another, they might go through a whole bunch of different questions that they're trying to work through: cost of living, safety of neighborhoods, things like that. You want to make sure that your brand is actually answering those questions and providing answers, because one, you want to show up and you want your business to be relevant on those searches, but two, you also want to be seen in the eyes of Google or any LLM that's pulling that information. You want to be seen as a trusted source of information for those niche or for those service specific queries that are coming in through the chatbot, through the search engine. Okay, moving on. Schema markup. This is how we talk to the crawler. This is how we talk to there. And there's a lot of theory here in schema markup right now. And so what I don't want to do is say that all of it's a bunch of BS. What I want to say is this is 100% something that we should have on our website. This is a great way to connect and to communicate to the crawler. There's other things out there, like if you want, there's like LLMs text that you can start to try to use. There's MCPs that you can try to use, which again, fancy lingo, I'm going to try to bring it down, but there are ways that people are trying to figure out, okay, how do we actually communicate to the LLM in their language? Those are all really good theories, and I love watching all these people putting things into play. We're putting things into play ourselves, but at this point, they're still theories. What we're going to hold down to is schema markup on your website. That way, Google can really clearly understand who you are, what you do, and where do you offer it. Not to mention specifics on the products, and not to mention reviews and things like that on your services as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so for you guys that are listening, you're going, okay, you just talked a lot of like just high level words. I barely am keeping up with all the fanciness here. What do you do with schema markup? What you need to pull from this is, if you are using an SEO company right now, the question should be, one, do you use schema markup? Then the second question, and if they say no, then run, come talk to us. The second question, number 2, is where do you use schema markup? They may say all over the website, okay, but we want to really make sure that they're leaning into like the FAQs page, the service-based pages for schema markup, because it is the language that is the easiest way for the Google algorithm to digest it, which then is how the AI digests that information online as well. So cool. There's your translation. Next.
Thank you. That is your role for today. Anyway, so the next one is getting listed on trusted directories, right? So these are the some of the more important platforms that your business can have a listing on. But also some of these are not maybe so well known. There actually might be some of the local opportunities for your business. And so just having a business listing on a place that's relevant and trusted, whether it's on the service, so it's niche specific, or whether it's on the area, so it might be local specific. Both of those have value in their own way, but just getting your business listing verified and getting created on these other directories. And again, coming back to making sure that it's clear that on that listing, you can say, what's your business name? Where do you do your operations, and what services do you offer? The more and more you can find a way to get that information into those directories, the more clear and the more synchronized your brand is going to be across these different platforms. And it's going to be a lot more clear for these LLMs and for search engines to continue to get to know your brand and continue to recommend you for people who are doing these both keyword searches, but also these question queries as well. Trusted directories are some examples right here. Don't really need to run through these.
Yeah, but it is the idea again is going, hey, we got to get your business on these profiles, on these directories, because AI is trusting this. So we've got to get you there. And that is help building the whole framework of who you are, what do you do, where do you do it at, and who do you do it for? And that's what it's there. A couple quick questions that I just want to answer quickly while we're here, and then let's move on. Poppy asked, do we need schema markup for every page or only the dynamic ones?
For pages that you want to get traffic from, those are the ones that you want to have schema on. If it's so it's going to be service specific, it's going to be service area pages. Also, there can be some blog stuff, but that's not necessarily like, you're not necessarily trying to drive a bunch of traffic to a blog unless that fits your service, where this blog actually leads to a purchase intent. Then maybe you might find a way to put like product schema, or you might even find review schema to go ahead and put onto your blog as well. So I guess I think that answers the question. There's another one here from Einel. What about blog posts? Should I answer it there as well? I think the question is, should I answer questions?
I was coming from like the FAQs and clear direct answers of like questions.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that if you're posting a blog, another good call out for you to be asking your agency, what's the purpose of the blog? There should be an intent. There should be a purpose behind the blog. And it should be to answer a genuine question that your ideal customer profile is asking. There's a lot of blog topics out there, and they will not provide much value for you now. They won't provide much value for you in the future as well, because if people aren't searching them, what's the point of having it?
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next slide here. You ready?
Secret sauce. How to win in vaults. Yes, I love this. This is fantastic. I am seeing so many things on my LinkedIn right now. You gotta dig in on this, because this is what ChatGPT loves. You gotta dig in on this because this is what Perplexity loves, and everybody's saying the exact opposite thing right now because it's all theory. So, recommendation for right now: back to the beginning. Focus on what Google is ranking right now, which are some of the basics that we talked about. Do not over optimize for one of these LLMs, because you might be risking visibility and opportunity in one of the other LLMs. Right now, ChatGPT is a great bet, but they've had a 2-year ramp up, which is fantastic. But who's to say that Claude won't have an amazing 2 years in the next 2 years? Who's to say AI mode won't just wipe the floor with the US market with these other ones, because Google already owns the market? So you want to be careful. You don't want to get too much into the, I want to make sure I'm pushing ChatGPT. I want to make sure I'm only pushing Perplexity or just pushing Gemini. You want to kind of make sure that, hey, let's do the fundamentals. Let's get good rankings. Let's get good visibility on Google. And that is going to overflow and overspill into these other LLMs as well. All right. I've already mentioned this a billion times. We want to clearly communicate who you are, what you do, and where you do it, and offer answers to the questions your clients are asking on all platforms you can. So again, that comes back to the FAQs. That comes back to your content structure, both on the website with the blogging. But I'm going to give you a freebie here that's not a part of the slide deck. You also want to start looking at your social media. And as painful as it is to think about, and it might make you stay up at night, YouTube is something that you should be thinking about. YouTube was like the queen of the ball at Google I/O Google I/O conference a month ago. It was the queen of the ball. They spent like 50% of the time talking about YouTube by itself. Content on these other platforms is going to become really, really important. It's already very important, but your brand, your business being visible and being trusted on these other platforms, on things like Meta, like Facebook and Instagram, which, by the way, Instagram just opened up to the search engine. If anybody knows that, July 15th, now professional Instagram profiles are going to be indexed by Google. So that's definitely also writing on the wall that Instagram sees what's coming. They're trying to open things up so that way they can also get their stuff for businesses ranking in the Google search, in the AI mode, in the ChatGPT stuff, and all that. All right, what do we got here? Google still drives the money. Oh, I think, Travis, you do such a good job talking about money.
I love talking about driving money. Here's the deal. Google still drives the money, right? 65% of the leads come from Google. We already talked about these. AI engine sources right now from Google. It sources from the internet, which is sourcing from Google. So if you're going to walk away with how do you leverage this, your 2 action items so far are answer relevant questions, right? Answer relevant questions on your website, on your blog. Get your business clear, get your brand clear on who you are, who do you talk to, where do you do your service at, and that comes in all different forms, local directories, FAQs, posting on your Google business profile. But again, everything's coming from driving the money from Google. So we have to still focus on Google. Right now, currently, today, the way to win on AI is to do well with Google. So the overlap is what works with both Google and AI. Number one, you need to optimize your Google Maps. Your reviews are so important, especially coming up with the whole Google AI thing. If you've been told about that, Google's kind of looking at revamping the way the Google searches happen, and that is through Google AI. Well, Google AI is currently pulling in lots of results based off reviews. So reviews are going to be more heavy focused than ever before. It was early on Google Maps, you needed a lot of reviews. Now it's going to be even better and even more important with the new Google AI. So you got to focus on Google Maps and local citations, and you've got to focus on local SEO. The content blogging strategy that has been used by SEO companies in the past, we still do blogs. Some companies heavily rely on blogs way too much. That strategy will slowly be a different strategy because the blog traffic is not going to be coming as much in waves because they're going to be coming through AI for the blog traffic. So, and then again, use schema, earn reviews, and improve page speed. These are all going to be things that are going to help you win on both Google and AI. Notice we're not telling you to focus just on ChatGPT or Perplexity. We're talking foundational, core, fundamental SEO strategies that will work on these. We want to share a case study with you. Travis, go ahead and take over. This case study is a real world example of the shift of blog traffic and AI being the sole source, and then traffic coming through AI. So go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, and so it's really great because it was a good segue what you mentioned. So to clarify, blogging still has a purpose, and it is 100% important. You're going to need content on your site to answer these questions, because if you don't, then you're not going to have any visibility. So I want to make sure that there is a shift happening. I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to break it down as simple as possible. But this is actually what we're seeing across the board, and we're seeing across the world. Realistically, is right here. So basically, we're going to open up Google Search Console. Search Console. What this is a Google native platform that basically is just about understanding how your brand interacts with Google, how people interact with your brand in the search. That's what Search Console reports on, okay? And so what we see here is we see a blue line that is the click count. So that's if somebody does a search and they find your little blue link and they click on it, that's a click. An impression is you are showing up on the person that's navigating on the page, okay? So traditionally, you're going to have a lot of impressions and you're going to have a percentage that be clicks. What we are seeing for the last year, so it's not like, oh, just last month AI mode got released or whatever. It's like we have been seeing this for quite some time already, is you are seeing the impressions go up, which gives you the idea of visibility is going up, but you're seeing the clicks come down, which is, to be very frank, for all of us SEOs, terrifying, because the last thing we want to see is impressions going up and clicks coming down. So the way that this works is, I'm going to go to the next slide. The way that this works is, for this I have a query here for this example. So go ahead and go back to the Search Console really quick, just so I can make sure it's very clear. This is a brand right here. There's a lot of blogs that are ranking really, really well. And so the impressions are going up, but we see the clicks coming down. But what I want to show you is on the next slide is clicks are not coming down because of like a loss of rankings or anything like that. This business, this brand, which you can see on the left side of the keywords, is based out of Dallas, and it is a moving company. They're actually doing really well. And they actually are doing really well in comparison to where they were 6 months ago. They have a lot of keywords that are driving more traffic and driving more opportunities for this business. So that's a great thing, is we want to see more of those keywords that are valuable, that are relevant for the business. Those are commercial keywords as well. But what we're seeing here is that because this blog is ranking really fantastic, by the way. This blog has been driving traffic for this brand for a long time. This one right here. How long can a child legally be out of school when moving? So what we're seeing here is we're seeing this blog is currently, as of today, I literally did the screenshot today. It is featured in AI overviews. So if you want the secret to who this is, you can go do that search right now. But the blog is featured in AI overviews. So what you have here is you have somebody who's typing in a question. And so maybe they don't necessarily do this in Google search, but they're going to be doing this in ChatGPT, and they're going to be doing this in AI mode, and they're going to be doing this in this other platforms. Because again, now we're transitioning to like question queries, not necessarily just keyword queries, right? And so what you have is you have the blog that's being featured in AI overviews. It's giving you the snippet, it's giving you the information, it's giving you the answer to the question yet no click happens. They get the information that they need. The person searching this may or may not be looking for a mover anytime soon. We're going to assume and hope that they do. And if they do, they got the information from this brand, which is great. If they click on the website, then I'm sure there's going to be a pixel installed and we can go do a retargeting campaign. Like, there's still so many benefits to having this blog and having this authority and having this visibility. But what we're seeing is that this AI overview or this ChatGPT result is giving the answer. And so they're not even navigating to the website.
That's why you're seeing the impressions of these blogs with this company go up, but the clicks are going down, even though their rankings are going up. And the reason why is you've got basically no need to click on it.
Yeah. So not to mention, not only that, but also this blog's featuring in the ChatGPT as well. So now you've got two places that are handing out answers, which is, again, this is a great thing. Your brand is handing out the answer. It's got an opportunity. Not to mention that these LLMs, these engines are seeing your brand as a trusted source, which is only going to provide more authority to your brand for ranking on the terms that you really, really want to rank for. So there's still value, but we are seeing a change in the way that we look at the reporting. We're also seeing a change in the user journey and the way that it's working out. They might be coming here for a question. They might be looking to move. They might be looking for a mover in the next month. They might not be looking for a move at all. Whatever the case may be, you still need to be able to answer this question with your brand, and you want to try to do this in as many places as possible. Is anybody like completely lost?
No. So let's see the examples. Let's show them. Show them the date. This is the fun stuff.
Yeah. So once you're actually getting your business, one, being visible in these areas, but not just on the blogs, like you want your business to rank still on the keywords. These conversions that we're looking at, these are real conversions. We set up the tracking for our clients. We take care of this. Not everybody does it the same way. So what I want us to focus on is, I want you to look at the red box. I want you to look at the engaged sessions, and I want you to look at the key events. Okay. So you can see the engaged sessions at the bottom in the red box in comparison to Google on top. So that's one thing to notice. You got 16 sessions on ChatGPT. You got 2009 on Google. So that's a very great example of we're early.
Early. That's okay.
Early. But what I want us to really, really look at, because this is super important, is I want you to look at the key events. I want you to take that and divide it by the engagement. Don't go ahead.
So sorry.
Take the key events number 5 and divide it by 16. You've got a pretty fantastic conversion rate. So what we're seeing now is, because of these question queries and because of this better experience that people are having when they're doing a search, when they're looking for something, looking for help, looking for a product, they're getting to their answer and they're already decided. Basically, they do their search in ChatGPT, they get their recommendation from ChatGPT, and they're moving forward with the purchase.
Wow, that's amazing.
So next one, got another example. Again, small numbers. I mean, this is 5 engaged sessions in comparison to 284, just to give you a different business size. But you got 3 conversions out of that 5 engaged sessions.
So 5 people come to the website and 3 people convert to some type of lead. That's phenomenal.
They were bought in. They had the information. They got the reviews. They got whatever they needed. And this is a great example at scale of actually how powerful this can be when you do get your brand showing up in ChatGPT for the right searches. Just for this last 28 days, again, from yesterday, you've got 60 engaged sessions coming from ChatGPT. Look at that whopping 33 conversions.
So what you're basically cooking here in the kitchen is basically you're saying ChatGPT, it is small right now because it is small. Google has the market share, but at a current state for leverage as a business owner, the conversions are very high. And so when you start answering these questions that ChatGPT uses to answer, your conversions, your ability to get somebody to become a lead is very high, even though the volume is small right now.
The search journey is changing. I think that people are experiencing, they're getting a better result out of each of the LLMs. I think they all offer their own great thing. ChatGPT was first. Like I said, 365, they were the first to do that in 2 years, breaking precedent, right? The other ones are going to catch up. They're going to have great results too. They're going to provide a great experience. And if they don't, they're going to fall off. I imagine AI mode is going to stick around. And so these things are going to provide a better experience for people. And so that's why they're coming in here they're not going in and out of the blue links on a top 10 page result. They're kind of seeing one, they get all the answers in one page, nicely formatted, and then they can make a decision and they're ready to buy, they're ready to move forward with the lead. And so, yeah, 100%. I think that this is providing a better search journey, and a better search journey is a better thing for local businesses as well. The quicker they can get to the answers, the quicker they can get to you as the answer, the quicker they're going to buy you as the answer.
I love this. Thanks for sharing this. So, okay, so now we're gonna start, bringing in the plane to land. What do you do with all this, right? You understand a little bit about where AI is going. You have the stage. What do we do with all this as owners? How do we leverage this? Well, we need to take some action. So, how do we take some action? Number one, claim and verify all your major profiles. If you're working with an SEO company, go hand in hand to make sure that they are going after the most leverage online powerful citations. Right? Here's some of the most powerful ones: Google Maps, Apple Maps, Bing Places, Facebook, Instagram, Yelp, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Show Me Local, BBB. These are some of the most powerful citations you can get. If you're not working with an SEO company, call us. But if you're not working with an SEO company, you're not ready to do that, start here. This is a great place to start getting AI to be able to eat that information up, is get your business on these directories. And then if you're working with an SEO company, make sure that they're helping you get on here, and reach out and just get a checklist and say, can you just give me a checklist that I've got all these created, and I got everything I need on that. Joel, great question. We're going to answer that in a second. So claim and verify these major profiles. Have clear FAQs on your website and make them unique. So there's 2 points to this. Number one, a little pat on the back. We've been doing this for 6 years. Since year one, day one, we've made sure it's a requirement for our clients to have FAQs on their website, because it's so powerful when it comes to the search, the value that Google gets to eat that up. Well, now the winning formula now is that the AI gets to eat it up. And so when you have these FAQs on your website, you get these questions answered. Hey, how many times do you get asked, if you're a moving company owner, how many times do you get asked, can I take my propane tank? Right? It's like people are going to ChatGPT now to answer that question. So let's get those FAQs on there and then make them unique for your business. Each one of you serves different markets with different needs, different questions. Don't just take a generalized approach to it. You want to try to get them unique to your business, to your local area. And then I'm gonna bring it up. You got to work with an SEO company that focuses on foundational, holistic SEO. No shortcuts. We've been seeing it actually more and more. These SEO companies, digital marketing companies, they're small. They're not one of the bigger ones. They want to help you find shortcuts. It is not a good idea to find shortcuts when it comes to SEO, because shortcuts will give you short-term results. You'll win very quickly. You'll win in 2 and 3 months. You'll win the leads, but in the long run, as AI shifts, as Google starts shifting these shortcuts, the non-foundational holistic SEO, it'll wreck your business in the future. And so when you work with an SEO company that focuses on this long-term foundational holistic SEO, you're not worried about these extremes, ups and downs when there's algorithm updates or AI is doing something different, because you're focused on holistic brand recognition on Google and on AI. So you've got to make sure you're working with a company that is monitoring that and ahead of the game on this. And then monitor your results and conversions from AI. Just look at it. You may be at 0 right now, and that's okay. But in 5 months, you might be at 10 conversions. But you need to monitor your results and monitor your conversions, which brings up the great question. You need to know your conversions. Like, we can't do anything as business owners if we don't know what is converting, where are they converting at, and how did they get here. So what's going to happen in the future? I'm calling it now. Come back in a year. I'm calling it now. There's going to be more perplexity in the data that's coming in. It's going to be harder for people like us to understand all this data. So what is going to be so important is that we focus on conversions, the clarity on exactly where our leads are coming from in the conversion data. We call it lead attribution. We're leading the charge here. I think that's why we're one of the fastest growing agencies. We're leading the charge on exactly where did you get leads coming from? What's the data? What's the proof? And then how do we do more of it? Travis, you seem like you want to say something.
Yeah, I really want to bring this last one home. You did a good job, though. I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
I want to encourage everyone here, and I'm going to make all other marketing agencies mad right now in this one moment. It's going to be fantastic. Do not settle for the answer of, we can't track that. Do not settle for the answer of, well, Google doesn't really offer us that information. there's a lot of information that we have access to. And even if we don't have, and we don't have the exact answer to every single lead, to every single opportunity, but we can at least tell a really good story that is factual, that is based on data, that is reasonable and is believable, and you can still make wise decisions based off of. So I just want to challenge everybody here. Do not settle for the fog, for the pushback of, yeah, just let us do our thing. It's all right. You're getting more traffic. It's 2025. Everybody has more traffic than they did 10 years ago. So that's not the answer. Work with them. Because realistically, we all want, like, we want better marketing agencies, we want better businesses, we want better experiences for people who are searching. All that kind of plays a role in supporting each other. So just hold your marketing agencies accountable and saying, where is my traffic coming from? Where are my conversions coming from? I want to know, this person filled out a form, made a phone call on June 14th. Where did they come from? You can find the answer.
You really can. And that's how you hold them accountable. Reporting on real lead sources. Yes, you can do link building. There's a question on link building. Evelyn, we're going to answer that in a second. Yes, they can do real schema markup. Yep, all these things are going to be done. But at the end of the day, the real data comes to reporting on the real lead sources. And that right there is going to be how you start getting clarity with AIs to go, where did they come from? How can I do more of this? And start moving in that direction. You should know exactly where your leads are converting from, exactly where they're converting from. If you do not have that list, if you do not have that data, and there is no clarity on how to continue getting more of that data with your leads, every lead needs to come with data of where did they come from. And if you don't have that from your company, you've got to go find a company that helps you get that kind of clarity and that kind of data. Rotate Digital does it, but this isn't going to be a whole big sales pitch. So key takeaways. Number one, Google is the core driver of cash. When it comes to ranking and SEO leverage, it's still on Google. Foundational, holistic SEO, plus having a good brand, right? Logo trucks, if you've got trucks or cars or whatever it is, like create a good brand, do holistic SEO. That is what is going to win in the long run. Number three, leverage unique FAQs on your website. If you're sitting here today and you're like, I do not have FAQs on my website, or I have a lot of questions that comes into the customer service department or my sales department that are getting questions that are not being answered on the FAQs page, start tracking that. Start tracking what are all the frequently asked questions on my sales team or customer service team and bring them on your FAQs page. That's going to be a really good next step for you to start getting leverage out of AI. And then number four, be on the front of the AI changes. We are not sitting here calling a fire in the house and saying, oh my gosh, we got to change everything. But we are an SEO company that is focused on holistic foundational SEO, and we see something. We see this is starting to trend. We see our clients starting to get leads and conversions and money from AI. And so as a good company, we're trying to be ahead of that. So we're trying to share with you what we're learning. That's why we did this webinar. Here's what we're learning. Here's what we're seeing. We have the real results to go. We already have clients that are getting money made from AI. So how do we lean into this, learn more, and leverage this for all of our clients today? So be on the front of those. Be on the lookout. Ask your SEO company what's going on. Why are they doing X, Y, Z? Because we are staying ahead of that, and we're staying ahead of that for you guys. Let's land this plane here. We got a lot of questions. If you guys want the ultimate SEO checklist, you can download that here. There's going to be some AI things that you can do in there, but ultimately it's a checklist to go. I need to start going through this to get this checked off, because if you don't have these things checked off, it is the core foundational thing that you need to do. You can't build a powerhouse brand on AI if you don't have foundational SEO work done on your website. And so you've got to make sure that you get that checklist and go through that. So you've got that as a free giveaway. Let's go to the Q&A section. First of all, can you guys all give a round of applause? Thank you to Travis Cole for joining us today and basically sharing all his knowledge on what he sees. This guy knows, I swear, sometimes more about our client's company than they do, because he spends so much time digging into the data of all these clients that we have, digging into the data, finding the insights, and he's so helpful in that. So he knows so much about our clients, and he saw this from the forefront 6 months ago. So I'm happy to have you here, Travis. Thank you.
You guys better watch out. I can see all.
Yeah, he can see it all. So we've got a lot of questions here. Let's get them answered. I want to go backwards here. Hayden Curtis said, can you touch on how we can set up UTMs for ChatGPT? The answer to that is you can't set it up for ChatGPT. You can't go, hey, here's UTMs for ChatGPT. ChatGPT is bringing UTMs and URLs from the World Wide Web, from the Google Business Profile, from your Facebook URL link, from your Instagram URL link, from your Google Business Profile URL link, and they're bringing it into ChatGPT, and then that's what's being clicked on to go to the next thing. Now, if your question on that is, well, I need to see that, I don't see that like you showed in this screen. Well, it's because you don't have the right tracking in place. So you can see here on the right hand side, the campaign, the UTM campaign here says Google Business Profile. The medium says organic, but when we look at the source, we have a code that we install on our clients' websites that gets that clarity, gets that data, and brings it in. And so that's something that only our clients have. You can reach out to us. You can pay us for that if you want to just have that on your own website. But that's why we know that this is coming from ChatGPT. So that's a good question. If I didn't totally answer it, though, you can
really
bring
quick
it up.
to add on, if you can bring up that, can you bring up that picture again? Just also bring some clarity also. So you have a couple of these that have the GBP. You have a couple of them that says ChatGPT and none. So what that's going to be is actually the difference is when somebody's doing a local, like still a local based search in ChatGPT. So they're looking maybe for like movers in Los Angeles or roofing company in Minneapolis, whatever the case may be. Then that's going to pull up, if you're doing something in an area, usually it's going to pull up still the Google Business Profile knowledge panel. So it's still going to pull up those Google Business Profiles. Again, because of our tracking, we're able to bring over the medium and the campaign level over to the website, as well as follow the user wherever they go on the website. Nice little subtle plug there. The one that you here with ChatGPT none, that's going to be, for example, it might be actually one of the blogs. I can't tell you for sure, but it might be one of the blogs where actually they were looking some information. They saw a reference from this business and they actually clicked on the link there and they got more information about whatever question query they had. And that's how they got onto the website. And so that's why that one's is a little bit different. You still have the UTM source being ChatGPT. Why? Because the UTM source is, where did it come from? The source, right? And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of clarity as well as some of the details here.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, and you can see some of these are phone calls. So again, you got to be tracking your phone calls for this data. So next question here. We answered that one. If you have more on that, let's go up to the top. Anonymous says, how long does it take ChatGPT to see this information? Is there still a long delay in pulling old data?
Yeah. So what you want to do is when you are using ChatGPT, you want to make sure that you're looking and getting an understanding of the models that you're using. Older models will be using older trained data. Newer models will be using newer trained data. Also, newer models will be starting to they're going into something called RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation. And so what that is that's a second level of checking itself. So it's not just pulling information and predicting. That's what an LLM does. Traditionally, it pulls information from Google search. It predicts what the answer is based on what it sees. The retrieval augmented generation, which some of the like Perplexity and AI mode, and also like ChatGPT is starting to roll into this as well. It's not just generating it, but it's also then running it back and saying, okay, is this actual real? Is this factual? And so then you start to have to get a little bit more updated data. But as far as I know, there's not necessarily like documented of like, hey, it's going to take 7 days when you put something for it to land into ChatGPT or something like that. But you want to be wary of like, which model are you using? Making sure if you want like the most recent data, using a newer model. To make sure that you're getting the best trained data.
Beautiful. Thank you. We got 3 more questions. Put your questions in as we land the plane. Poppy says, in my website, a lot of traffic is coming from other countries, which they aren't being targeted. So how do I get more specific area on where we're providing our services? Oh my gosh, that sounds like a sales pitch for us.
Well, I hope it's not Google Ads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look at it, Poppy. If you are running Google Ads, you got to be careful on that. It's like you better look into where's this traffic coming from, because if it's coming from paid ads, you are blowing money. And then the second part of that answer is you're gonna get traffic from other countries. If you get a lot of it, something's off. Something's not done. And Poppy, it says it's coming from your blogs. A lot of your traffic's coming from your blogs. That's okay. I would argue there's a side of it that says that's okay, but then is it majority of your traffic, or is it just a lot in comparison to the US traffic, right? So you really want to make sure that you're getting the traffic that you need from where you need it. So again, traffic is not all made equal. You want traffic that comes from the right people at the right places.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I mean, if this is a concern, you should ask your agency also what they think. That would be my challenge to you. Ask them what they think. Is there a problem with this? Is that okay? Ooh, look at that. Joey's coming here. What's the website? So yeah, so just ask your agency to get some clarity on what that is, what that's for. It could be a lot of scenarios. It could be something that maybe actually you might want to just refresh your content. Sometimes outdated content will actually just really kind of fall away, but it'll be picked up maybe by God knows what that's happening in other countries, trying to fake things and bloat data. So yeah, I would just connect with your agency on some information on that. Nothing huge risk at that, unless it is like Travis said, all of your traffic. Then that's an issue.
Like a dentist website is getting traffic from Canada, but we are targeting the US. I have so many more things, but I do want to move on. Sorry. There's a question here. It's not a secret. Could you share the name of the moving company in Dallas that you're helping? No. You can do your own research based off this webinar, and you'll be able to figure it out. But just to make it, I don't want to be shouting it from the rooftops there. But again, feel free to email us. It's not a secret, but I don't want to make it easily accessible all the time.
Shout out to that company. We do like them.
Yeah, well, great company. Number two, what if the blog post is also generated through AI? Is there any concern with that? We'll win through that.
Ooh, I'm so curious in your answer. Can you go first?
Yeah, 100%. I will say the same thing I've been saying for years. It is all about how valuable the content is. That is, at the end of the day, the core crux of everything, whether it's generated through AI, through your 3-year-old daughter, through your 300-year-old grandma. It does not matter. Is the blog valuable? Is the content valuable to your end user? And are they reading through it and engage? That is the answer to the question. If the answer is yes, Google doesn't care how it's created. Google has literally come out and said, I don't care if AI writes this. Is it valuable for the user? And that's always been a thing the last 5-10 years at Google. So again, foundational, holistic SEO will win in the long run. That answers that question.
Content. You should always try to answer the question the question on a topic or question on service with a unique, drawn from your expertise and experience answer. You can use ChatGPT, you can use any AI LLM model, you can do it yourself, but that should be the goal every time you're putting content on your site.
It's beautiful. All right. I am going to go to Evelyn's question, Hayden's question. Travis, you're going to love me and hate me for this. I need you to go get the URL for our backlink outsourcing for one of these questions here. Hayden Curtis says, Travis, are you offering free flights at Rotate Digital? Oh my goodness, I would love to do that. If you're ever in Phoenix, come say hi to me. My plane is not here. This is my buddy's plane. I love airplanes. So if you ever want to talk about flying or anything, let me know. Evelyn asked the last question. Put in any last questions because we're on the last one right now. Evelyn asked a great question. How can you do backlink acquisition organically? And I think it's a very important question. There is two ways I want to answer this question. Number one, organic backlink acquisition, it can be done by getting these local citation directories we talked about. That is a backlink, and you get to go acquire them. That's a great way to do it. You could find partners in your city, a coffee shop in your city, a partner business, and you guys can get your backlinks put onto each other's websites and say, here's our partners, here's our people we love in our city. That's a way to do acquisition of backlinks. Here's one thing that I want to bring up. We can actually do backlink outsourcing for guest posts for you. High quality, saves you a ton of money. You go buy these online, you're going to spend $1,000 for one backlink because they're such high quality. But we are offering that to anybody who wants to get some extra backlinks and they want to do this themselves. You can go and basically purchase backlinks from us. So right in the chat, rotatedigital.com/backlink-outsourcing. And you can kind of look at that, have a conversation with our team if you want to try to attempt this and do this on your own, or allow us to get you some of that high quality stuff for a massively discounted price. So that is kind of how you do it organically. Travis, you want to say anything to that?
I really do. I really do. So I agree with everything Travis said, but I want us to be careful. The goal of backlink is not to just get a backlink. Okay. So the partners is a great idea. I think that there are some great opportunities. And I think that a lot of business owners neglect partnership, just in general, partnership in your local market. But the backlink opportunity is there. But I also, to take Travis's example, I do not think we should go do that. I do not think that you should go to a coffee shop friend and say, hey, can you just throw my website somewhere on your website? And let's just call it fair if I do the same for you. Because again, We need to find unique and expertise ways to deliver content to people. And if you can find a way through content to connect a coffee shop to a roofing company, to a HVAC company, to a dentist, then do it. 100%. Use it. That's a great opportunity. But don't just throw links in random places on your site or on their site. It's not going to be helpful to them. It's very unorganic. It's very unnatural. And so it might actually be counterintuitive to do that. So you want to be careful of that. You want to make sure that it has a natural flow to it. It's not like content and then it's like, oh, insert random backlink to an HVAC company. So want to make sure it flows naturally. Find a way, get creative. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can find a way for the content to flow naturally and for it to make sense for somebody who would actually search it, somebody would actually search this, they would find this topic and this link to this other business would actually help them, then you're good. You're good in the clear, and let's roll with it. And I think that's a good opportunity. Just don't get too carried away.
I love it. All right. Well, we've got no more questions. I just want to thank everybody today. I want to try something out because I want to be able to have somebody go to ChatGPT, type in webinars for local service businesses about marketing, and have Rotate Digital come up. So I would love an opportunity. If you guys want, if you guys have found value in this webinar today, you want to help us out, go and click on that link, leave a 5-star review, and mention something about webinars and marketing. And I would love to see if that makes a difference when it comes to ChatGPT. Because right now, if you type that in, Rotate Digital doesn't come up. And so to kind of test the knowledge, I want to see if an influx of reviews talking about webinars and marketing changes that. And then I'll let you guys know how it goes. But if you found value today, I would be overly gratitude. Is that a word? No.
Grateful?
Yeah, they're overly grateful. There you go. I'd be overly grateful for you guys to leave a 5-star review and mention webinars and marketing and see if that works. So if you could do that, that would mean the world to us. I want to say thank you for joining. Your time is super valuable. To take an hour out of your day on a Wednesday to join us means a lot. So thank you, but it also means that you're doing the right thing. So thank you for joining us today. If you have additional questions, email in team@rotatedigital.com. We love helping business owners out. Email us if you want to have a conversation with our team about SEO or AI or PPC or leveraging your business to make more money online. Just go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call with our sales team. It's a no hassle, no pushy. We literally just try to bring as much value to you. And again, thank you so much. Click on that link, go to Google, type in Rotate Digital, leave a 5-star review about webinars and marketing to see if ChatGPT will bring us up. I'm excited about that. So thank you guys. Please have a wonderful time. And if I don't see y'all, have a safe and enjoyable 4th of July. We'll see you guys. Thank you.